Matthew, I don't know where you were in the ninth inning if you'd gone back to the dugout, but can you just take us through kind of your perspective of Noel's home run and just what he's meant for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, John Kenzie's awesome, man. This is like our group is resilient, and we've had this next man up mentality all year long, and you just knew something good was going to happen. And those guys coming up to the plate, and man, it's it's not the first time that he's come through in a huge moment like that, right? So so happy for him. That was awesome.
Can you explain the swing of emotions from Stanley Judge's home runs to Noel and Fry's?
Yeah, a ton, right? I don't know if there's many words for it, but I guess that's postseason baseball, man. Those guys are a good squad. Obviously that guy over there is going to be the MVP. And he took, one of the guys that's going to be a front, in there for Cy Young on an amazing pitch, right? And so that was a clash, and it's then going forward to Lane and David and Jonko, just guys doing it over and over again, man. It was a ton of emotions, but I mean, I think that game is who we are, right? You go back and you look at, you think of some of those key plays, what Jimenez did on that play right there to keep, essentially, putting a guy on third base, keeping him at second, whatnot, getting an out there more than anything was amazing. And I think just that whole game was who we are as a ball club. It's guards baseball.
Other questions?
How about your pitching performance tonight? Would you rate that as probably one of your best?
I like to eliminate maybe, some of those walks. The walk to Volpe that came around the score, especially. But Hedgie did a great job back there. He was money, mixing pitches, and he's so solid. He's so big to this ball club. And then Bo picked right up, where he left off when Bo came in the game, and they did a great job back there.
Retired 10 last batters, 9 last 10 batters. 10 last batters faced, 7 of them on ground balls. And what was so effective for you to get the ground ball out?
Changing speeds. I think we got it on it. We got ground balls on a changeup, curveball, slider, and a heater. It's just it was just pitching. The at bat. Hedgie does a great job back there. Excuse me, and that was he just we were just reading swings, and he knew what was right, and it was a lot of credit to him.
2 more right here.
Matthew, now 3 postseason starts for you, and I think it's easier to do something when you've done it a few times. Is there something about being in this moment, in a game of this magnitude, and knowing your teammates are trusting you with the ball in a game where you have to win? Is it getting more comfortable for you at this point?
I don't know if comfort is the right word, but it's exciting. I can't get enough of it.
I can speak for all 26 guys in there that we all feel the same way, man. It's like, it's put it in your veins sort of thing. It's awesome. Whatever role we're asked to do, we'll do it, and to get a W. So yeah.
Follow up really quick. Obviously, it was a tough night for Class A.
Yeah.
Can you speak to how the team tried to pick him up after a frustrating performance for him?
Our ball club's next guy up. That guy is all-world closer. He has the ball every single time with the game on the line, and I'm going to take him over whoever's in the box every single time. And our whole club feels the same way, man. That guy's amazing. And after what happened after is just who we are as a team, right? We just keep fighting, and it's like I said, it's in our DNA, and that's what we hang our hat on.
Steven, just what are your thoughts on that game? You're giving up home runs, you're hitting big home runs. Just what's the message to the team?
That was an incredible game on both sides. All the emotions, ups and downs, back and forth, you name it. If there was an emotion, we all felt it on both sides. And I couldn't be more proud of our guys. This is exactly who we are. We never quit. And we get punched in the teeth pretty hard there in the 8th, and our guys stepped up huge for the guy that carried us all year long, and that was really fun to see.
Got Mandy right here.
Just for John Kenzie in particular, just knowing what he's gone through the last few months and the struggles and just continuing to push through that, just how special of a moment is that one just for him individually?
Yeah, I mean, he pinch hit to hit a homer. That's why we sent him up there. And, the thing I can say about John Kenzie, no matter what, he was struggling, not struggling, you name it, he steps up and he gives you everything he has every time he gets there, and he's not sped up. He's not afraid of the big moment. We saw that in his debut. We've seen it time and time again, and no swing of the bat bigger than that one until the 10th.
Was that the greatest game that you've ever been a part of?
As a manager, yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know if it gets much better than that. Two of the best closers in the game right now. You get to them. That doesn't happen hardly ever, and I think there's one person that could hit that pitch off Emmanuel Clase out of the yard, and he did. And as a baseball fan, it was really cool. As the opposing manager, it was not. But just what a fun baseball game for two really good teams.
Questions for Steven? Do 3 more.
Stephen, a lot of people are going to talk about the home runs because those were defining moments, but what was your perspective on the play that Jimenez made and Naylor keeping his foot on the bag?
Andres Jimenez is the best infielder on the planet. He has been, and he will be. And he makes plays that make us wow every single day, it seems like. And for him to even get to that ball, spin, and throw a very good runner out, and for Naylor to make a in-between hop pick as he's falling over fully stretched, that is just unbelievable defense by both of them. But what Andres does night in and night out is so much fun to watch. We are spoiled to watch him play second base every day.
Last one's for Steven right here. Can you talk about kind of the game plan after Clase allows the home runs and the trust you had in Morgan and Avila in particular to come in and pitch in another game in that spot?
Yeah, again, we've used all of our guys in big moments all year long. Not one guy that's out in that bullpen hasn't pitched in high leverage, big situations. The guy that we need to talk about is Andrew Walters. This guy's in college a year ago, and he comes in and gets 2 huge outs in the 9th to keep the game where it was, and no heartbeat. He comes in confident, executing, throws strikes. Gets one of the best hitters in the world looking to end the 9th and gives us a chance. And so many people stepped up.
2 last ones right here.
I know lost and everything. Kyle had a really nice game for you guys as well. I mean, just how big is that for him as he continues with his journey?
Yeah, Manzo's been awesome. Ever since he came back in September, he's been great. And with he and David, manning the DH, we feel good about both of them being at the plate anytime, anywhere. And be remiss, maybe because he's in the room, but David Fry, what this guy's been through all year, what he's given to this team, the leadership that he's given us, and to step up in that moment against one of the best right pitchers in the game, to do that with a mistake was a moment I'll never forget.
With Clase and Judge, you've got 2 of the biggest outliers in the game, are just opposing each other in that moment. Just when those 2 collide and everything goes haywire, your blueprint had been perfect up to that point. What's your reaction in that moment?
You don't have one, because you kind of what just happened. I mean, Emmanuel's been perfect. We couldn't have asked for anything more from Emmanuel all year, and he's going to be right back out there in the 9th tomorrow night. And he's human. Aaron Judge is one of the best hitters on this planet, and it was a fun matchup to watch. Like I said, I wish it would have gone the other way, but we're fortunate that we got this one, and we're going to be ready to go tomorrow.
Take us into that at bat there. Just what's going through your mind?
Yeah. Obviously, Clay's a really tough at bat, especially for a righty with that sinker slider combo. The first, or I guess it was my second at bat off of Weaver, was no good at all. And I was just like, I just told God, I was like, hey man, take this. Like, this is a tough matchup. Just try to have fun, and you take the at bat. And got behind in the count, and just got a pitch up in the zone, and luckily it went out.
Mandy?
What's the reaction like in the dugout after John Kenzie's homer?
It was amazement. It was so much excitement, but then it was just like, oh yeah, of course John Kenzie hit it like game-tying homer against a guy throwing 98, and he throws a changeup and he hits it for a homer. Like, nobody does that. But we had, like Voter said, like that's why he's coming into the game. It's like, all right, here you go, big boy. Like hit a 2-run homer, and he did. Like so cool.
Right in front of the team.
David, how about you in these big moments in these two series? I mean, what makes you be at your best in these clutch situations?
Yeah, again, like I said, I try to give it to God, and I'm just trying to have the slowest heartbeat I can. It's tough in those situations to stay within yourself and just try to have like a normal approach. But luckily tonight was a good one.
David, what is it about this team that enables everybody to just continue to respond, you know, when, like Steven was talking about punch in the mouth kind of situations?
Yeah, I think it's just who we are as a team. Like everybody genuinely loves each other, and we come to the field excited to play. And it's like, yeah, we got punched in the mouth with the best pitcher in baseball, Manuel Clase, and it's like, you know what, boys, like he picked us up all year. It's time we pick him up, you know. And I mean, there were just so many little moments that obviously Maddie gives us a huge start. Then bullpen comes in, does their thing. Himmy makes some unreal plays. I think the at-bat that kind of got forgotten was off Weaver, 2 outs in the 9th. Lane has an unbelievable at-bat, then hits a double off the wall to kind of keep the game alive before John Kinsey's homer. There's just so many things that these guys do as a team. They're so tough. I mean, it's so much fun to be a part of.
Mandy?
It seemed like every time in New York when we were talking to you guys, you just kept saying we just need to get back to guards ball. We need to get back to being ourselves. Did it feel like that's what it was tonight?
Yeah, it was good pitching all night. Amazing defense, obviously led by Hemi, and then clutch hitting. I mean, Rocchio gets the bunt down, like bunts, bombs, and chaos. That's what we talked about, and yeah, it felt like tonight we got back to that.
To Bradford?
David, you touched on it already, but I just want to ask you a little more about, you know, after Class A just dominated for you guys all year, just how big was it for everybody else in the dugout to pick him up after that?
Yeah, like it's unbelievable. Like there's not enough adjectives to talk about how good he was this season. They had to have set records for just about everything you can do as a closer. And it's just like you hand him the ball, and we don't even watch the game, I feel like we're chatting it up because we know the game's over. So we were like obviously shook, but it was just like, you know what? It's time we give him a break. Like he carried our team all year long in the 9th inning. And it's like it's our time to pick him up, and I'm glad we did.
Glass couple here in the third row.
On your homer, while the ball's in the air, what's going through your head?
Yeah, at that point I blacked out. No clue. I just remember being like halfway down the first base line, looking back at the dugout, and then I'm looking at Sandy. I'm like, all right, I got to just make sure I touch all 4 bases and get home and celebrate.
We'll finish up with Jordan. Just more on the reaction of your home run. How did it compare, especially doing it at home, compared to the big home run you hit in Detroit in the last series? Yeah, different. The one in Detroit I didn't know was out, and at that point I think I was the tying run in that game, so I was like kind of booking it, making sure I get to second base. And then there was still a game left in that one, so it's like get back in the dugout. All right, here we go. We got to close this one out, and then obviously this one was over after, and it's a blur still.
David, awesome to you. Thanks for your time.